All right, so today, we're diving into something really different. We're not just talking about some run-of-the-mill villain. Nope. We're exploring a living, breathing, philosophical argument. A tyrant whose greatest weapon isn't a laser or a death ray, but an idea.
And this quote, this is the key to the whole thing. I mean, think about it. The great thou shalt not made flesh. What does that even mean? How can a person embody the very concept of no? Like a physical walking wall against every hope, every dream, every ambition you could possibly have? Well, let's find out.
So, our story? Our parable, really. It starts here. Picture this. Way out in the darkest, coldest part of the cosmos, there's this mobile fortress. A whole planet being towed through space like a giant battleship. It's called War World. And it's basically a sphere of pure pain, engineered from the ground up to be a monument to hopelessness.
And this is the guy in charge. The absolute ruler, Mongol who is. Just look at him. His face is described as being as hard and yellow as a dying sun, and it's locked in this expression of just absolute certainty. He is the master of this whole grim reality.
Okay, so what makes this guy so special? It's that Mongu isn't your typical comic book bad guy, you know? He's not going to show up with a pet ape and a shrinking ray. No way. He is something way scarier. He's the embodiment of every limitation in the universe, of philosophical force, given flesh.
So, you might be asking, how does a philosophical force even rule a planet? Well, he builds his entire kingdom on the very idea of hopelessness. He creates what the source material calls the ultimate enforced utopia.
And what is an enforced utopia? Well, it's a system where every last shred of freedom is stamped out, all in the name of creating a perfect, rigid order. It's a special kind of tyranny that doesn't just demand you obey, it actually tricks you into finding a twisted kind of purpose in your own subjugation.
And you can see just how brilliant and twisted this is in his methods. On War World, the official message, drilled into everyone's head by propagandists, is that slavery is freedom. Just let that sink in for a second. The system is so cunning that it gives its victims this fake hope in enslavement. It convinces them that their chains are actually a form of salvation. It's wild.
But this whole enforced utopia thing, it's built on something even deeper than propaganda. See, Mongol's real power, his true weapon, isn't his strength. It's not about his fists. It's this passive, crushing philosophy that holds his entire world down. It's called the philosophy of stasis.
So, what is stasis? It's a kind of tyranny that doesn't need to be loud or angry. It needs no passion, no rage. It's quiet. It's passive. It's just there. An immovable force. Think of it like inertia on a cosmic scale. A universal constant that just resists all change, all growth, all ambition. It's the ultimate no.
And the source material has this perfect phrase for it. His rule isn't like a big explosion. It's more like a constant, unbearable pressure. It's like the feeling of a planet's gravity, just always holding you down, making sure you can never, ever take flight. And what does that make him? It makes him the ultimate antithesis of the will to power. He is that cold, fixed truth that the will to overcome and to create and to strive always has to struggle against. He is the universe's great no to humanity's yes.
But all this philosophical weight, it comes at a terrible, very real cost. So what happens to the human soul when it's stuck under that constant gravity day in and day out? The answer is something pretty horrifying. It's called spiritual coagulation. Think about it. Normally, the human spirit is dynamic, right? It's always moving, flowing. It fights, it strives, it changes, it hopes. It's pretty much the engine of our entire existence. But under Mongol's rule, that dynamic, flowing energy slams right into his solidified dogma, his absolute, unchangeable laws. And that flowing spirit gets forced into this rigid, frozen mold.
And that's the key here. That's spiritual coagulation. It's the process of that spirit freezing over. It's the complete annihilation of vitality. The living soul is literally hardened into something static, brittle, and totally lifeless.
And the way it's described, man, it's horrifyingly poetic. The life force of his subjects is reduced to red powder, dry, stagnant, and unrelated to the earth. They're not even people anymore. They're just the dust of who they used to be.
Okay, so all of this whole system of oppression, it's all leading to Mongol's ultimate endgame. He isn't waiting for a hero to show up and punch him. No,
He's waiting for a philosophical showdown. He's waiting for a hero to walk right into his trap, the nihilist's gambit.
You see, it doesn't matter to him if a hero is strong enough to beat him up. He couldn't care less. His real goal is to prove that the hero's ideals, everything they stand for, are a complete and utter sham. The battlefield here isn't the planet, it's the soul.
All right, so let's break down this dark wager of his. It's a pretty simple but absolutely devastating four-step trap, and it's designed to corrupt the very idea of what a savior is.
Step 1. The hero arrives. The new Ubermensch. This person has incredible power, described as restored, immense, and divinely contaminated might. They are a pure force of will, showing up to liberate everyone.
But here's the twist. The hero is suddenly faced with the impossible task of freeing a world that's already spiritually dead inside. And Mongol's bet? His wager is that the hero, out of pure frustration, will choose the easy path of the tyrant. That they'll use their godlike power for absolute enforcement just to get the job done.
And checkmate. The second the hero gives in, the second they take that throne and commit that violation of restraint, Mongol wins. Because by becoming a tyrant to enforce good, the hero proves Mongol's whole nihilistic point, that the struggle for meaning is pointless, that all paths, even the ones paved with the best intentions, lead right back to tyranny.
So, and this is the absolute kicker, Mongol doesn't even need to survive. His victory is guaranteed the moment the hero has that terrible, irreversible moral fall. He proves that his frozen, tyrannical no was the only real answer all along.
And all of this leaves us with one last, really chilling question that gets right to the heart of this whole parable. If a savior has to use the exact same tools as a tyrant to create their good world, what's the real difference between them? At the end of the day, what truly separates the hero from the villain they came to destroy? Something to think about, for sure.